This is my audience. Kayla, Katie, Tink,
Shannon,
Sam, Sarah. This is a picture of my grandmother. My grandmother was a very sweet person, and she cared a lot for many people, especially family. That was what was most important to her. She wanted a close-knit family, and she held our family together. And sometimes we would all go over to my grandmother's and cook and eat and things like that. Even on school nights, we would go over every night and cook and eat. And then that way when we went home, all we would have to do was just brush our teeth, take showers, and go to bed and stuff like that. And it was February the 18th, 2010. And just like any other day, I was at school practicing on the softball field. And I had my phone in my pocket. We weren't allowed to have our phones, but at softball practice, but it was 7th-period softball practice, and all the players weren't out there yet because they were in class and stuff like that. And what 7th period was for was to work on our swings and stuff like that. But as we had a break during the time we were out there on the field, my phone vibrated. And so I took my phone out of my pocket, and I received a message from my younger sister. And at the same time that I got the message, I saw my mom's car rushing into the school's parking lot, and she was just flying in the school's parking lot, and her and my little sister were just on their way, and they pulled right beside the softball field. And like as my mom was pulling into the school, at the same time I was reading the message that my little sister had sent me. I mean, it was a very blunt message, and I mean, I guess she was only 11 at the time, so I guess I didn't expect to see a sincere message or anything like that. But my grandma was a very sick person, so I mean, she was old too, so. But she had high blood pressure, diabetes. She had plates in both her knees. She had 2 open heart surgeries. And she had permanent fluid around her heart. So she always had issues with her heart and things like that. And she had to take medicine every day, and she was a very sickly person. But you would never know that my grandma was sick because she never complained about anything. All she would do was ask her grandchildren or the adults or things like that to fix things around the house or to help her get her medicine and keep track with her medicine and things like that. And so we just tried to help my grandmother as much as we could. But as my mom was rushing into the school parking lot, and I was pulling my phone out and reading the message at the same time, my little sister texted me, and she said, "Grandma's dead over there." And when she texted me that, I just immediately started crying on the softball field. And so by that time I had read the message, my mom was sitting there pulled right beside the softball field. And, I mean, she didn't really have time to get out of the car or anything to come get me off the field. And so as I cried and stuff like that, my coach was like, "What's wrong?" and stuff like that. I couldn't talk because I was crying so hard. And all I could think about was my grandma was gone and she had left me and stuff like that. And so I put my phone back in my pocket over there, and I was just walking off the field crying, barely able to walk off the field crying. And so I got in the car with my mom and my little sister, and I was just crying, and I couldn't stop crying and stuff. And so my mom, the hospital that we went to was like 10 minutes away, but we made it there in like 5. But it was like 10 minutes away, so, and the whole way there, my mom was trying to comfort me and tell me that everything was okay and stuff like that, and trying to get me to stop crying and stuff like that. But I couldn't because it was my grandma, and I saw my grandma like literally every day, and she just meant a lot to me. She basically helped raise me since I was little. And so on the way to the hospital, I just cried the whole way there. And then when I got there, it was like a lot of family, and I just got, most of the people were in the hallway. Most of the family was in the hallway, and I got to go in there with my grandma by myself, and she was on the hospital bed, just laying there. I mean, she was still warm and stuff like that because she had just passed. They had just announced that she had just passed before we got there, and so she was on the hospital bed, and I just came in there, and I held her hand, and I was just holding her hand and stuff like that, and then and I mean, I know she had passed over there, but I talked to her and stuff like that, and I just rubbed her and stuff like that, and I just sat there and cried, but until this day, I still think about my grandmother every day, and like if I do something bad or anything like that, I just always think that I'm like, would my grandmother want me doing that and stuff like that. But I still haven't got over my grandmother's death, but I'm trying. And my grandma was a really great person, and I still think of her every day. And that's all.